What's up? What's up? What's up, man? Welcome to Boastful, man. This your boy Big P.
Oh yeah, it's Nell. Welcome back, y'all.
It's boy Tavo.
Let's get it.
What's up, fellas? How y'all feeling, man?
Feeling great.
Feeling good. How you feeling?
Man, I'm living the dream, living the dream.
I'm talking about.
Today we're gonna be talking about understanding therapy for Black men, breaking the stigma of seeking strength. I got a question for you guys today, man. Before we get started, man. And Tavo, I'm gonna start with you.
For sure.
Understanding the challenges Black men face. Like when I say that, what does that mean to you? Like, what are some of the challenges that you think that you as a young Black man face in this world today?
I think the challenges me as myself as a Black man face going out every day is the perception of different races perceiving me of being like, you know, how some people, white people think we gangsters, robbers, stealers, and all of that. Because, you know, sometimes white women, they clutch their purse when they come near them as Black people, but some of us not like that. Mm-hmm. We actually genuinely cool people that lay back. So, and also racism, so that too. What's another one that we face when we go out? I think that's the only one I can think of right now. So you come back to me if I might have something.
Now, are you saying this? Is this some things you face, or is this just something you see in a sense?
I mean, something I've been seeing since growing up, going out and seeing it like on a daily. Like when I go outside or go to work, I see sometimes some people us Black people don't get treated, us Black men don't get treated as well than another man, like a white man or.
We get back to that. What about you, Peter?
I think challenges I face often off the rip, like just in public, people perceive you different, so you have to show like who you are. Like I feel like other races don't really have to show like, oh, I'm educated, or oh, I'm not here to harm you or nothing like that. You know, things like what Taewon was saying. And if I dress a certain way, I'm labeled off the rip, you know? So those things, like sometimes I gotta switch up like what I wear, or, you know, if I'm going somewhere and I don't want to be labeled, I won't wear a hoodie or something like that, or I won't wear, you know, certain things. Like I feel like those are like day-to-day things I face. Other than that, I don't really see any other things that like affect me. So
now I'm gonna dig a little bit. Now, is this something that, you know, you gotta ask yourself this: is this something that you guys are honestly seeing, or is this something that, you know, you hear about or you watch on TV? When I say this, is this things that you're actually facing? Because I think sometimes us, and I know some people will get mad when I say this, but I had to learn this myself. Sometimes us as a culture, especially us younger people, like, you know, in between that 20 to like 50 range, I feel like we take a lot of things from history and we make it into something now versus something that we actually seen. Because it's just like some people, you know, they may make a song about like growing up in poverty, and they ain't even grew up in poverty. They live in the suburb. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we walking around with this on our back just because of things that happened back in the day with our folks versus what's actually happening to you right now. So when I say, I want you guys to speak from the heart and speak on things that actually, sorry about that, you went through. Some things that you think that you may have, because this is about therapy. Some things that you think, you know, therapy will help you with. What are some things that you actually face? Have you actually faced somebody being racist to you in a situation, whether it's work, whether it's something where you was out in the public and something happened? What are some things that you actually had to go through and get over yourself?
Well, I think this is one example for me. I was coming home from school one day. I'm just walking through a neighborhood, and this police officer, I'm guessing he a white police officer, so I'm guessing he just patrolled that area a lot. And I'm walking home, just like one time I walked home,
Mm.
And he stopped me. And he was like, I never seen this neighborhood before. What you doing in this neighborhood? I was like, I'm just cutting through this neighborhood to go home. He asked me my ID and everything. So I had to sit there and wait for him to check my ID.
Wow.
And I was like, I didn't do nothing. So why is you like that's what I'm saying in my head. I ain't do nothing. So why is I being stopped in this neighborhood? And I feel like I don't say it's racial, but I just feel like you wouldn't stop no other kid that was not my skin color in this neighborhood. So I was,
now, is that something that affected you? Did it make you look at officers different? Like, did that situation actually bother you mentally, or you just went on a bunch of business and you didn't too much worry about it? You didn't ponder on it much?
At the time, yeah. I didn't really think about it. But now, like recently, a few months ago, a police stopped me for having my high beams on behind him. And when he got behind me and pulled me over, I just felt like this overwhelming of nervousness in my stomach. So I said, now it affected me, but at the time, no. So
is that because of some of the things that's going on in the world with people getting pulled over and stuff? And
like the George Floyd. Like I don't want to be done like him or Tavon Brown. I don't want to be done like them. So like every time I see a police, I get nervous and scared. That's gonna happen to me. I'm gonna get put out the car. I'm gonna be pushed to the ground, facing the ground. I can't breathe too. And I don't want to be like that. So like every time I see a police officer, I just get nervous and scared.
Man.
Yeah. I feel like my experiences are more like in the workplace. Just like I've experienced times where somebody thought another person was more educated than me just because of their color, based off like we were in like the same room or something, and they just like looked at me and just didn't think I was as educated as the person next to me, because the kid next to me was white. And
what made you say that?
It's like, so you could peep like energy, and you can see like just by how somebody's looking at you or something, and just by their actions, like they felt like they had to go more in depth with explaining something for me when I had just heard what they said. You know what I'm saying? Next to like when they explained it to the white kid, and I guess they just looked at my tattoos and stuff and just looked at me and was like, "Oh, I need to help him a little more than." I need to help him. And I was like, no, I'm fine. Like, I know I know what I'm doing. And I had already had everything written down and everything, but they thought they needed to like help me more. And I was like, nah, I'm good. But it's just like things like that. And also like I've witnessed somebody else, like they gave a white person a chance before they gave the other guy a chance, like with the job type stuff. And I was like, man, like stuff like this actually happens. You know what I mean? So it's like, I guess that pushed me more to want to be like, educated and wanted to know like what I'm doing and just, being able to handle stuff on my own. And also like what Tavon was saying, like I feel like we fear these things like with law enforcement because we've seen it happen. It may not be happening to us every day, but it's like, we don't want to be next. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I feel like a lot of people get nervous, like when the cops come around and stuff, because the things that we're seeing on the TV and seeing on our phones, like it's at our disposal to see these things. You know what I mean? So that's my take on that.
Okay, that's all. That's some good topics, man. I mean, some good answers. Now, next, what do you guys think? How do you think us as Black men, like facing some of these things, how do you think us as Black men can benefit from therapy? But first of all, do you think therapy is a good thing?
I think therapy is a good thing because you're getting out emotions that you don't want to keep in for too long, because eventually you're going to explode and have, like, you might go off on a random person and you might not even mean it. It's just like you've been holding on that anger and that sadness from what you've been through for so long. And we can get to therapy and the therapist and talk to them and really sit down and actually talk about your feelings. And because as Black men, we don't really get the chance to explain our feelings and express ourselves. with other people. We always clowned and laughed at about our emotions and our pain, what we go through a daily basis. So we can get therapy. I feel like we'll be much better as a whole, as Black men.
TJ?
I feel like therapy is needed. I feel like we push it aside, to be honest. Like we push it aside like it's not needed, or like we don't need these things. But when you think about therapy, I feel like a lot of people think like, oh, I'm just talking to a random person. I don't want to express my feelings to this person. But it's different for everybody, and it's different for everybody's situations. A lot of things that you have pent up and built inside, you can't talk to everybody about those things. You know what I mean? You may not be able to talk to friends about it and they understand it and they get you the clarity that you're looking for. I feel like when you think about therapy, I feel like it's clarity in a way. It clears your mind. You're able to speak freely and I guess not be judged. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's why therapy is needed, because when you talk to certain people, they may judge you. You know what I mean? A therapist is equipped and qualified in different ways that random people are not, and like people that you confide in is not, like, so that's why I feel like that's what I think about therapy.
Now, when we talk about therapy, because here's how I look at it with therapy. I think therapy only works if you're willing to let the things out that you have in that's actually bothering you. Because, like, honestly, and it's just opinionated, I think therapy can be just you talking to somebody that that you trust with your thoughts and with things that actually like really bother you, because you can't share those things with anybody. And plus, I feel like it have to be somebody that can actually understand you and relate, and that's willing to listen versus just talk. Because I feel like therapy for me is like me letting it out, letting everything out, and then you giving me some kind of way to try to come back from that, So, I mean, that's just how I feel about that.
I feel like there are different types of therapy you can do. You don't really gotta talk to somebody. You could write it down. Also like physical therapy, you go to places and break. Like they got people that go to places and break things to get over that little anger or whatever they felt inside. So you don't always got to talk to somebody, but you can always write it down how you felt that day to get it out your system. Or you go somewhere and you go break, microwave, whatever works for you, in a sense. You don't always got to go talk to somebody if you feel comfortable talking to somebody that you don't know. So that's what I feel like you can do too also.
Yeah. Now, when we talk about therapy, do you think building a supportive community, like having people that support you, like checking in, because us as Blacks, man, we don't really check in on each other. I talk to y'all about that a lot. Like we don't really check in on each other often, just because we feel like we manly, we don't need all that, But I mean, I'm finding like just with time, just living, that sometimes it feel good, to hear from one of your homeboys, during the week. You having a rough week, like things not going right, and you just trying to process stuff the right way mentally, and you have a certain person, that'll hit you up, or just anyone in your homies, man, just hit you up and just be like, hey, man, it was good, and then you're able to tell them, and that one little thing, be like, well, are you all right? Because I know sometimes for me, man, like I have one of my buddies hit me up, man, and it's just key things that help me. They'd be like, hey, man, how's your mental? And that open up that space for me to, because there's like I ask y'all boys every time I talk to y'all, how's your mental? How you feel? I mean, just having that I feel like just having that community and having people to check in or have a buddy that send you a scripture, and that scripture might hit right at the time when you need it. You know what I mean? I feel like having that for me is important, For me as a person is important. But I can't speak for nobody else. But, PJ, what is your thoughts on that? How you feel about having that supportive community? Or do you even have a supportive community?
I feel like I do have a supportive community. I have people that check in on me, to be honest, and it helps. So it does help a lot. And I feel like that's another form of therapy. I feel like therapy isn't just one-on-one talk with somebody, that's qualified. I feel like you have different things that you can do. Like some people go to the gym, you know what I'm saying? And that's their therapy. Like some people have a podcast like we have, and that's their therapy, Some people read, in a quiet space, meditate, stuff like that. That's different forms of therapy. I feel like we do, like as Blacks, like we do need to, really just in general, we do need to check up on each other. That's really something that's needed, because I feel like a lot of people just wait till the weekend, to check on their people. You feel me? Knowing that we go through stuff day to day. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like we had that close circle check up on your people. Take some. It's nothing to send a text. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing to call. I know you're probably not able to call every day, but it's like things like that. It helps. Sending scriptures, sending a TikTok that's motivational or helpful. Like just to let people know that you have people around you that care what you're going through, and they in tune with you and they they care about you, your well-being. You know what I'm saying? That helps people. That helps people's mental. Asking people, oh, how's your mental? That's not a question you get every day. You know what I mean? So
I feel like I'm that homeboy of our group. I'm always calling or I'm texting. You just see how y'all doing.
Yeah, you do be checking in.
Yeah, like you be checking in
faithfully on every
I be trying to, cause I'm trying to get y'all attention, bro. Like I know we all go through something and we all busy, but I just feel like we all can just take time just to slow down.
Yeah,
that's right.
Talk to each other.
We do need to slow down.
That's for real. Like you have to make that time.
Yeah, like I feel, and I'm a victim of that, bro. Cause like I be moving fast, bro, and I feel like I don't have time like during the day. You know what I'm saying? Like
you be ignoring my phone calls.
It's a true thing. Like, bro, we have time. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we just be moving too fast, so we missing time. You know what I mean?
I feel like we got enough time.
Yeah, like we don't. If anything, we don't got enough time to be stressing and worrying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we just need to let things play out and like focus on the simple things, which is like what you have, like your people. You know what I'm saying? Like check up on your people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's needed. You feel me? And
yeah, it should be
take time with your people, bro. Like that's really it.
It should be a daily thing, not just like every once in a while.
Yeah,
because some people be going through stuff right then and there. Like they're dealing with it and not really dealing with it in a good way. Like they just
and you never know that phone call could help you. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit like that, bro.
So, fact or fiction? Do you think therapy can help with personal growth and resilience?
Fact.
I feel like it depends on the therapy. Like I said,
it's fact or fiction? Fact or fiction? We're gonna get to that.
Oh, fact. Yeah.
Okay. Now, so since you said fact first, what makes that a fact in your mind?
It's because, like I said earlier, therapy it unclogs, like it clears your mind. It like it slows you down. You know what I'm saying? So yes, it can help you. With your resilience, it can help you in different aspects in life that can,
But how does it help you
better
grow?
Person. Growth, it helps you grow because now you're learning how to deal with your emotions. You're learning how to deal with your problems, and you're able to slow down and think, and you're able to make the moves that you need to make in order to grow. You're able to build those relationships that you have to grow, So that's my take.
Dave, what's your take on that?
I think it helps you grow, because when you can acknowledge your problems and your faults and what you're going through and get it out and not hold it in, that's when you can do things with a clear mind instead of a cloudy mind, and you just acting irrational and not really trying to slow down and really think about, if I do this, this is gonna be the outcome. Like, you gotta realize, like, when you can get out your problems by talking about it or writing it down or whatever, that's when you can start being more successful with anything you're doing, whether it's your career, it's doing stuff with family members or friends. And that's basically how I feel about them.
Now, I hear both of y'all talking about getting out the problems. How do you deal with the problems? Or do you deal, because I feel like the therapy is pointless if you're not facing those problems head on and finding a solution to deal with that.
Mm.
What's the plan for that? Like, let's say if one of your problems is, and it's just an example, let's say one of your problems is fear of whatever it is.
Mm.
How do you face that fear and eliminate it? Because the therapy can help you with, like, getting that thing to the surface and getting it out front. Now it's out front. Now how do you deal with it? How do you eliminate it? What's your solution to that?
Well,
because it's one thing to bring something to the forefront and be like, all right, I see you. It's another thing as to, okay, now I got to eliminate you and get you out the way because you're slowing down my progress, and I need to maneuver to be able to do this. But you can't do that if you don't get that wall out the way. Because some people go to therapy and it make them feel better, but they still run into those
roadblocks.
Yeah.
I feel like so you learn things in therapy. So you learn how to deal with the situations that you're going through. So I feel like you have to apply it. The things that you learn, you have to apply to life. So I feel like you avoid running into those roadblocks by using what you're learning in your therapy. You know what I mean? And I feel like these are also questions you should ask. I feel like in therapy, like if you're in therapy, I feel like you have to ask questions. Oh, like, how do I deal with this? How do I deal with that? A lot of people, I feel like, and I've been to therapy like once, and it didn't really work for me. But it's like the thing is,
did you give it time?
That's my thing. I didn't give it time because I wasn't really like feeling a therapist, and also it was like a one-time thing. Like I was just trying it, so I feel like you have to ask those questions. Like, okay, well, how do I deal with this? Okay, what can help me to get past this? Like, I feel like a lot of people may just go to therapy and they just talk, like they just let their stuff out. You know what I'm saying? But you're not asking, how do you get past these things? How do you better yourself in these situations or something like that? How do you get over these obstacles? So that's the idea.
Well, I look at it different because I actually been to therapy and it actually helped. But I mean, I'm just gonna put this out here. Like, I feel like, therapy in the sense, like, you going to it and you actually putting in the work. Outside of that, like actually joining support groups and different things like that, right, depending on what you're facing, for me, yes, therapy helped, but now my therapy is, my men group, because like they hold me accountable for a lot of things. And I think a lot of people like, and like that men group, for me, that's that support community, besides for you guys, that's that support community, because like we're able to talk about things and get things out on the forefront that's actually bothering you. And you actually have guys that, they hit you over the head with some scriptures. And, like we really get to it, and But each thing that you facing, there's hardcore evidence as to, hey, if you apply these things to your everyday life or you walk about it this way, then this is the result you're going to get.
Right.
You know? So I think it takes more than therapy.
Yeah.
You know? And I can't even say take more than therapy because being part of a support community, like that's therapy. You know? There's different type of therapies out there that you guys can be a part of that can actually help you with something, because a lot of people, you'll be amazed how many people don't face challenges and giants that you got to face in life, and they don't already been through it, and they can help you. They can't help you get through it, but they can help you navigate.
Right.
In a sense.
So
there's no type of therapy going to help you get through what you're trying to do. Like I feel like that's something you have to do on your own, but you can have people that's set up to help you navigate through this journey, you know?
So how people that's always on the move and always busy can find those type of places and people though?
It just depends on how important you take your life, you know? Or are the things that you're doing in your life that important to where you're not able to check in on yourself? You know?
Not at all.
I feel like that's just something we have to do, you know? It's like people say, you know, the devil's always busy. The devil's going to keep you busy. You know, it's up to you to be like, you know what, this is important to me, you know? And that's another thing with like people just showing up in people's life, you know? How important that person is to you. You go home every day, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the same thing. Yeah, like you have people that go home every day. They go home to somebody every day. And you're right there in the house with that person and you don't even check in on those people. You know? That's crazy to me. And when somebody tell me that they don't have enough time in the day, or like, oh, I see you every day, that don't matter.
Yeah.
It don't matter if I see you every day.
Because you could be going through something I don't even know.
Yeah. I mean,
It's true.
have you checked in on that person? You may see them every day, but have you checked in on them?
Yeah.
I don't see how somebody can, you know, and this is for married people and people that just have like kids at home and stuff like this. How can I, as a person, say I care about somebody, but I'll text 25 other people in a day and don't text my loved one?
Ooh.
You know, that's crazy. Like, I don't care what you and that person got going on. I don't care how mad you is with that person or whatever, or how mad you is with your kids or whatever. Whatever it is. Brother, sister, whatever. How can you say you love somebody and you don't check in on those people every day, at least a few times out the day?
Yeah.
You know?
That's right.
Like that's something. I told this to a friend the other day. I said, you can tell how much somebody loves you just by doing one simple thing. And if they give you excuses, just ask them this question. How many other people you text today? Or how many other people you called today? If you call anybody, that means that those people were more important than
Your people in the household.
Your loved one.
Yeah.
And I don't care what they say. Oh, well, I had to do this. No. You know, if you're going away from somebody for like 8 to 10 hours and you don't check on them, man, you don't care about that person.
Yeah.
I don't care what nobody say. And if it's a pattern, if you're doing it in a pattern, then that just means that you have a living mate, a roommate.
Yeah.
That's it. Or you just got kids and your ammo for those kids are, I just gotta take care of these kids because I got them. And I feel that that's true. I feel like people can actually be wired like that, to actually not care about the people that's in their household, but they just feel like this is a responsibility more than a love connection.
Yeah. I feel like the people that's in your house that makes excuses,
Yeah,
they make excuses for that one time, they're gonna make excuses for everything else.
exactly. But people, I see it all the time, man. Like people will show up for other people in their life before they show up for their loved one.
Yeah.
And I don't get that for the life of me.
That's crazy.
Like it's crazy. Like I don't understand it. You know?
But you do got some people in their household, their family treat them bad, so they probably won't want to check and do stuff on
Man, that's
amazing.
just take a change of relationship and a change, like somebody in that relationship have to change that dynamic. I feel like that's an excuse. You know, somebody have to step up and change that dynamic. If we both living wrong, how are we gonna love each other? You know,
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
it's
to.
kind of like I told you the other week when you was telling me like how, and I'm gonna bring this back up, like how you and your mom relationship is or whatever. It's the same thing I told you that. Well, you be the bigger person,
Right.
Yeah.
you know? And being a bigger person sometimes may not come with you, you know, being voiceful to that person. It may come with you just doing stuff behind the scene. You know, you praying for that relationship.
Yeah.
You praying for that person. You praying for yourself, more importantly, because I can't change somebody else, but I can change myself. And a lot of the time, that's how relationships work. If you change yourself, eventually, some people like God will peel that cover over their eye because of their eye, because that's all it is a cover. You know, he'll peel that off, and they'll see you for who you really are when you see you changing. You know,
Mm.
it's like you say, my light need to shine when I walk in the room. You know, people can't deny that. If you walking in that purity and you genuine with everything you do, people gonna see it.
I'm at that point in my life where like I've been quiet for so long because that's all I knew. Being in my household, living with my mama, and the different people we had coming in and out. I just been quiet, so that's really all I know. So it's like trying to change that relationship with mama. It's like I'm trying to get there, but I feel like I'm not getting away because I'm not speaking up or opening my mouth, and I really want to so bad, but I don't know how to go about it. So like,
Mm. Do you feel like when you checking in on people and you lead them by like action? You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like that's more effective than just telling them like, "Hey, I want to build this relationship," or "Hey, I want to do this"? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's hard. Like a lot of people don't really listen to their family members. Like they be like, "Oh, that's nonsense." Like we already got a good relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like they genuinely can't see it sometimes when like a relationship is like falling off or like it's just not as it used to be. And then a lot of people blame it on, oh, we growing, or oh, you know, I got this job, or I don't have this amount of time like I used to. You know what I'm saying? Like I also like I often hear a lot of excuses like when it comes to like building relationships and fixing bonds and stuff like that, you know?
I feel like all we see is the exterior of what we are doing, and we don't really try to see the interior of how we feeling in the inside. I think we show one thing, be feeling another thing in the inside.
That's
And
true.
I feel like we can say what we feel in the inside out loud. I feel like relationships are gonna get much better between whoever you dealing with, a family member, loved one, like a wife, husband, brother, or sister.
All right.
Well, I'm not gonna say that's not true because that's your thought process. That's the way you look at it.
Mhm.
But for another way to look at it, for me, like the way I look at it, speaking can only work if that person ready to receive what you're talking about.
True.
Like that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Like that's why like a lot of relationships fail, whether it's relationship with a parent, with a sibling, with a spouse, with a girlfriend, whatever, with a homeboy or whatever. And it's kind of like what we talked about last week with you going different heights and that person not ready to go to those heights yet.
Yeah.
You know, if you're trying to deliver something to that person because you look at something a certain way and that person not ready to receive what you're talking about, they're not ready to let that in, then you know what's going to happen. They're going to rebel because they got their own thought process. See, a lot of people not able to sit down and have a conversation like me and you having. A lot of people don't know what agree to disagree mean, you know? See, me and you can talk about this because you're in a space right now where you can stop and listen and hear what I got to say. And the same thing, just like I told you, you know, I can't disagree with you, but here's my take on it. A lot of people not ready to have that conversation. Because if me and you have that conversation and you telling me that later on tonight, I heard what you said, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna ponder on it, and I'm gonna be like, you know what? He was right from his point of view, you know. So I can accept that because now I'm ready. I'm ready to accept how you're feeling about that because just for the simple fact, I consider your feeling because you're important to me. If that person not in this headspace to where he or she is ready to hear what you're trying to say, and they're not gonna receive nothing they're telling you because guess what? In their mind, they're right and you wrong. And it's worse when you're dealing with somebody that's older than you because now they feel like they got the wisdom, they got the knowledge. You haven't been here long enough.
Yeah, they right, you wrong.
Exactly. And that's just it. It ain't no in between.
No.
It ain't no, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you just got to know who you're dealing with. Like when you're going to go fix or restore a relationship, you got to know who you're dealing with and you got to know how to approach it.
Oh, I'm dealing with somebody that's always right and not wrong.
Yeah. So like you got to approach that thing a different way. So like that's something I feel like you have to pray on and get an answer for that. Because he may tell you, hey, they're not even worth talking to right now. Like, you know, just I got to get them here and then y'all can fix this, you know?
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, focus on yourself, getting yourself in a better place, you know? And, you know, because it's easy to see somebody else's problem. And that's a problem I have for a long time. Like, I never wanted to look myself in the mirror and like, well, you know, what are you doing wrong? You always point out what somebody else doing wrong.
Yeah.
What are you doing wrong? Because we can do that when we in our feelings and we worrying about our feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy to say, oh man, you always doing this, you always doing that. Okay, well, what are you doing to trigger that? You know? Because I believe for every action, you know,
It's a reaction.
it's a reaction.
Yep.
You know, but I don't, and I'm not gonna say I believe that because you don't have to react to everything.
Right.
So I feel like it's like that when you're in that negative space, you know, if somebody form an action towards you, you gotta react. Sometimes that person may form an action to me, but my reaction is to just be quiet.
See, and that,
Because you're not where you need to be mentally.
yeah. Yeah. I live in a house where, well, I'm like the only older male in there, just all females. So sometimes I like they don't think logically about things, and I do. So when they see when I don't react to certain things, they think, "Oh, why you not reacting to it? Like you supposed to be." I like, but sometimes you don't need to be all rah with somebody. Just your quietness speaks loud in itself. You don't always got to be loud and rah with somebody. You can just be calm and talk to them, and they'll receive your message just the same as you. So loud. So it's like I'm not that loud person, and I won't get rah with you unless you take me there. But it's like I'm always that calm person, and that's what my mama she the difference. She loud. She don't get her point across. She gonna talk. I'm that laid back, chill person that's I'm still getting my point across, but I'm not gonna be that loud person.
Right.
And that's I guess that's what she don't kind of like about me because I'm so laid back and I'm so chill and I'm so quiet. Because I don't like to pop off in certain situations. Because I feel like certain situations don't need that. So I feel like we could understand each other and see where we coming from. I think that's when our relationship will come back and it'll be better than what it is now.
Now, is this something y'all had to talk about in a calm environment? Or
it's like our environment is like it's almost never calm. Because it's like we'd be laughing and giggling in one moment and then something serious happen very quick. Whether it's something going on with her and her situation with her baby daddy, or it's my sister's doing something that caused her to be mad or something. I don't put my family business out like that because I don't want to seem like I'm just putting their business out. But it's like, it's always them three. My older sister and my mama. They always got some type of drama going, and I don't. And like I always get included into the drama that I don't want to be in. So I want to separate myself, but I don't separate myself because they're gonna feel like I'm not there for them. You know what I mean?
So when you said, I want to go back to when you said like looking yourself in the mirror and like recognizing where you're wrong at.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's not gonna help like trying to fix a relationship if y'all both can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because a lot of people
You can't focus on nobody else. You can only, as I just said that,
Yeah.
you can't focus on nobody else. You can only focus on yourself and change yourself first. Because,
And you feel like that's gonna help them
yeah,
like fix themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
eventually, because if you see that I'm not dealing with your bull, and
Then you can know that you're wrong. Like,
yeah,
or that
like
you
I'm
just not.
yeah, it comes to a point of letting somebody disturb your peace.
Right.
You know, I mean, peace is everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when you trying to do anything therapeutic, I feel like you have to have that
Yeah.
to be able to see where you need to navigate to.
Okay.
You know, and I had to learn that. I learned that from my men's group. I cannot focus on even my spouse. I cannot focus on changing that person because sometimes you may be blinded. You may think that person doing wrong, but you just can't take the constructive criticism that person is giving you because you're not there. You're not there physically, mentally, emotionally, nothing. So you can't see it.
Right.
Because you're blinded by all your foolishness. And you actually feel like you're right. Because there have been a couple of times, you know, me and my spouse, we done have some disagreements about things. And when I check back, you know, I was actually the problem. And it took for me to mature and grow to see that.
Yeah.
You know? And sometimes you don't be wrong in every situation, but you have to check back and you have to determine, like, man, you know what? The person was right. And that's a big part of growing.
Yeah.
Growing and maturing, you know, apologizing. You know?
Facts.
I think that comes with time.
If you're going to be a strong man, you're going to be a just man, you have to be able to do that.
That's true.
You know? Regardless of who it is. Like, even when I look back at some situations that I had with work, you know, ego, you know, you can be right about something, but you don't have to be arrogant about it. You know, because you got to understand that sometimes a person that's in a higher position than you, they may not be where you're at mentally, and they may take it as you're boasting or you trying to make them look bad in a sense.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's a sense of judging. So it all depends on how you look at certain stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I'll put it like this to go back to a relationship. Don't be so quick to correct your partner before you correct your stuff. Kind of like they say in, you know, sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine.
You know that before?
Yeah.
Never heard that.
It's real stuff. You know, clean up your mess before you try and clean up my mess. You know? I can't be focused on what you're doing wrong. Now if you want me to talk about it, you know, because first of all, I can't call myself a Christian and a man of God if I'm sitting there judging people. You know? I'm not about to judge you. That's not, I'm not your maker. You know, you got to deal with that. You know, Only thing I'm focused on is how I deal with myself and how you treat me. You know, now I don't have to sit here and let you mistreat me, you know, just because you're not in the right headspace or whatever. So it is my job to kind of stop you on that and be like, hey, look, you know, you're not going to do that because you're not finna mess with my peace. So, and you don't have to be ugly about it, Hey, look,
Yeah.
like, as long as there's respect there, then you can have a conversation. And it's my job to know how to approach you in that conversation.
All right.
Because if I'm calling myself the just one, or this, that, and other, all that, and not even that. That's the wrong take on that. Not the just one. If I'm calling myself a Christian, then I gotta know how to maneuver in a situation. I gotta be able to see that situation before it even happened. Like, hey, this person may pop off if I say this because, they don't like this, they don't like that. So let me approach this lightly,
All right.
So I'm never gonna approach a situation when I'm upset because I know where that's gonna go.
All right.
So I'm gonna approach it calm and respectfully. I'm gonna give my respect, like Kevin Gates. I'm gonna give my respect because I don't tolerate disrespect. Plain and simple.
I just feel like
It's just
how can
my take on it,
Because me, myself, like, I have trouble trying to talk to people because, like, I don't know how they're going to react to what I'm about to say to them. So I just keep it to myself.
You can't do that. You can't do that. I just said that. Before you approach a situation, you got to know who you're dealing with and how to approach that situation. Okay, if this person is hostile, then I'm going to approach it like this. Hey, look, I'm not trying to disrespect you or trigger you or anything like that, but I need to talk to you about something important. And then you go into it. Mm-hmm. And if you see them popping up, hey, look, I'm not here for an argument. I'm here for a discussion. You have to be able to control yourself. And if that person's uncontrollable, I feel like you need to walk away from that situation. Hey, you know what? You got it. We're going to revisit this later because you're not ready to handle this conversation right now.
Right.
And I'm not about to let you disturb my peace and get me upset.
And that goes for if you don't know them either. Like, if you just met them and, like, you saw something and you just wanted them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you don't know them and you just met them and you saw something that you didn't like,
then you handle it as it go. Like, just approach it the same way. Mm-hmm. And if you see them, popping off and getting, hey, you know what? I'm not trying to ruffle your feathers. Let's try this at another time when you're ready to deal with it. But at least try to think about what I brought to you today. And calm down, and then, we revisit this later when you're ready to talk about it.
Yeah.
Right. But this is how I feel. It's not wrong with telling somebody how you feel.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, like, what else y'all got on therapy? I mean, like, what y'all think about
I feel like you just take it seriously. It's not something light that you could just talk about. It's something that you should actually take serious and really take time and really, like, mentally, like, just sit back, think about what you're gonna do, and then execute it in a way that's logical and it makes sense to you. And that's what I think I feel about it. Just take it seriously and not something to be played with or light about.
Yeah.
PJ?
I feel like don't just go to therapy just so you go to therapy, and recognize the different forms of therapy. And like Taywan said, take it serious. And yeah, just therapy is working on yourself. So take that serious because you're building yourself as a person. So that's what I think it is. That's my take on therapy. So
as for me, I mean, I want our culture to stop looking at it as, oh, well, that person crazy or something like this because, you got to go talk to somebody. I mean, mental health is serious. I mean, you got people hurting themselves. You got people that's just, looking at life in a different light, and it can be so much freer and feeling better if they just take these things serious. Like, talk to somebody, whether if you don't want to go and go see somebody, talk to somebody near and dear, somebody that you can trust. I mean, set up a session with a pastor, whatever. Like whatever you need to do to get that out.
Yeah.
And talk about how you feel about certain stuff. I mean, like just take it serious. I mean, because like, man, your peace is everything. Like you have to protect your peace out here, man. You have to be in your right mind, sane mind,
All right.
This is all we have for this episode. On the next episode, we're going to be talking about setting boundaries and protecting your peace and growth. So check back in with us next week, man. That's all I got. PJ, do your thing, man.
Go ahead and make sure y'all follow us on Boastful at TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe on the video. We appreciate all your comments. And make sure you're sharing. Until then, see y'all next time. Peace.
Deuces.
Deuces.